Hi everyone, how are you? Oh, I miss you guys so much. You don't even know how much I miss you. So I'm just thinking about all of you all the time, and I know this is all new for us, but we'll get through it. We'll be brave, right? We're all learning, even me right now. So anyway, I wanted to do a little bit of a read aloud. I thought I'm gonna try the computer thing out and try to do this. Um, so last week there's a special writer named Tommy DePaulo. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but you might have heard of some of his books. Anyway, I thought about doing a little tribute to him. I'm going to read a couple stories this week about that he's written. So one of the stories, I don't know if you saw this little lady in our room. This is Strega Nona. So this is one of the characters in his books, Strega Nona. So I thought I would read this to you so you can enjoy it, and just because he's unfortunately he passed away last week, but he is just one of the most amazing authors, written tons and tons of books, and I thought I would do a little tribute in honor of him. So this one is Strega Nona, and as we're reading it, I want you guys to think about this though. We've really been talking about character traits all year. So I want you to think about maybe a trait about Strega Nona, maybe a trait about Big Anthony. He's another character in the story. So I want you to think about those. What is something you would describe either one of them to? So let's enjoy the story right now, though. Strega Nona by Tommy DePaula. Okay, so in a town in Calabria, a long time ago, there lived an old lady that everyone called Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. This is her. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, they all went to see her if they had troubles, even the priests and the sisters of the convent, because Strega Nona did have a magic touch. She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She made special potions for the girls who wanted husbands, and she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was getting old, and she needed someone to help her keep a little house and garden, so she put up a sign in the town square. And Big Anthony, who didn't pay attention, went to see her. Anthony, said Strega Nona, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk her, and you must fetch the water. For this, I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat. Oh, grazie, said Big Anthony. The one thing you must never do, said Strega Nona, is touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it. Oh, see, yes, said Big Anthony. And so days went by. Big Anthony did his work, and Strega Nona met with people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed, and he had food to eat. One evening, when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega Nona singing. Peeking in the window, he saw Strega Nona standing over the pasta pot. And you know pasta like spaghetti and linguine and all that, right? Okay, so she sang, bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boiling enough pasta to fill me up. And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. Then Strega Nona sang, enough, enough, a pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. Oh, how wonderful, said Big Anthony. That's a magic pot for sure. And Strega Nona called Big Anthony in for supper. But too bad for Big Anthony because he didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot. And this is what happened. Oh my goodness, right? The next day, when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch the water, he told everyone about the pasta pot. So what do you call someone who's telling everybody about something special, right? You know. And naturally, everyone laughed at him because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked all by itself? You better go and fess to the priest, Big Anthony, they said. Such a lie. And Big Anthony was angry, and that wasn't a good thing to be. I'll show them, he said to himself. Some day I will get the pasta pot and make it cook, and then they'll be sorry. Well, the day came sooner than Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, Anthony, I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden. Feed the goat and milk her, and for your lunch there is some bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot, right? Oh, yes, yes, Strega Nona, said Big Anthony. But inside he was thinking, oh, my chance has come. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside and pulled the pasta pot off the shelf and put it on the floor. Now, let's see if I can remember the words, said Big Anthony. And Big Anthony sang, Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill up with pasta. Aha, said Big Anthony, and ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, Everyone, get forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot work. Of course, everyone laughed, but ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls. And sure enough, when they got to Strega Nona's, the pasta pot was so full it was beginning to overflow. Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and platters and bowls. There was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priests and the sisters from the convent, and some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings, but the pot was never empty. When they all had had their fill, Big Anthony sang, Enough, enough of my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. But alas, he did not blow the 3 kisses. He went outside, and to the applause of the crowd, Big Anthony took a bow. He was so busy listening to compliments from everybody that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling until a sister from the convent said, Oh, Big Anthony, look! And pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor at Strega Nona's house and was coming out the door. Can you imagine that? Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words again, but the pot kept boiling. He took the pot off the floor, but the pasta kept on pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the top and sat on it. But the pasta raised the cover and Big Anthony as well and spilled on the floor at Strega Nona's house. What a mess, right? Stop! Yelled Big Anthony. But the pasta did not stop, and if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house. Out of the window and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. What do you think's going to happen? Who do you think's going to be able to stop it? Maybe. Let's see. The townspeople began to worry. Oh, do something, Big Anthony, they shouted. Big Anthony sang the magic song again, but without the 3 kisses. It did no good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to keep ahead of it. We must protect our town from the pasta, shouted the mayor. Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to make a barricade. Barricade is when you stop something, right? But that didn't even work. The pot kept bubbling and the pasta kept coming. Big problem, right? Oh, we are lost, said the people, and the priests and the sisters of the convent began praying. The pasta will cover our town, they cried. And certainly it would have had Strega Nona not come down the road home from her visit. She didn't have to look twice to know what happened. I think she's thinking, oh no. She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses, and with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. Oh, grazie, thank you, Strega Nona, the people cried. And then they turned on poor Big Anthony. String him up, the men of the town shouted. Oh, now wait, said Strega Nona, but the punishment must fit the crime. And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and held it to Big Anthony. All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot, Strega Nona said, and I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So start eating. And he did. Poor Big Anthony. Looks a little different. And look at the end. Okay, I see all the pasta gone. She's sleeping in her house, and he doesn't look too happy, does he? So this was Strega Nona. It was one of his first stories that he wrote. And this is little Strega Nona here. So think if you can message me back about a trait. Remember we talked about brave or determined or silly. So think about something about either Strega Nona or about Big Anthony. All right. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you soon. Again, I miss you guys. Bye.